Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood, and today we're going to be learning all about Dr. Pepper. But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this. Dr. Pepper is famously made up of 23 flavors, but they're also famously secretive about what exactly all the ingredients are. One of the most persistent rumors is that the unique, spicy sweet profile is actually achieved by including a small amount of prune juice in the formula. Some say it dates back to the late 19th century when they were trying to sell it as a patent medicine and included prune juice for a little laxative effect. What do you think? Is there actually prune juice in Dr. Pepper, or do you just find that a bit hard to swallow? We'll find out at the end of the episode. Now for your word of the day. Our word for today is pharmacopoeia. That's Pharmacopoeia. A pharmacopoeia refers to an official publication containing a list of medicinal drugs together with their side effects and directions for their use. In a broader sense, it can also refer to a stock or collection of drugs or compounds. It comes from the Greek word pharmakon, which means medicine or drug, and poien, meaning to make. Essentially, it's the recipe book for a pharmacist, and it plays a huge role in the history of soft drinks. Back in the 19th century, the line between a refreshing beverage and a medicinal tonic was incredibly blurry. Most early sodas, including Dr. Pepper, were invented by pharmacists in drugstores rather than by chefs or beverage corporations. These creators would consult their personal pharmacopoeia to mix herbs, spices, and syrups that they believed would aid digestion or boost energy. When you sip a Dr. Pepper today, you're actually tasting a piece of liquid pharmacopoeia from the 1880s. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about Dr. Pepper. Number 1. Dr. Pepper is officially the oldest major soft drink in the United States, predating Coca-Cola by a year. Since Coca-Cola is the biggest name on the market today, many people assume it was also the first big soda on the scene, but Dr. Pepper actually beat it to the punch. It was first served at Morrison's Old Corner Drugstore in Waco, Texas in 1885, while Coke didn't make its debut until 1886. The creator was a pharmacist named Charles Alderton who loved the way the fruit syrup smells in the drugstore mingled together and wanted to capture that aroma in a drink. Interestingly, Dr. Pepper isn't actually considered a cola because it doesn't get its flavor from the cola nut. Dr. Pepper is technically classified as a pepper soda, a category basically created just for Dr. Pepper. Now, this might seem like a silly bit of semantics, but the distinction likely saved the company. For much of the 20th century, Coca-Cola and Pepsi held exclusive contracts with bottling plants across America, meaning if a plant bottled cola for one, they couldn't bottle it for a competitor. This cola wall almost blocked Dr. Pepper from expanding nationally because most plants were already busy with the big two. But the company took the issue to court, arguing that because Dr. Pepper used a unique blend of 23 fruit and spice flavors rather than the traditional cola nut extract, it belonged in its own separate category. The judge agreed, legally defining Dr. Pepper as a pepper-flavored soda drink rather than a cola. This was a massive victory because it meant that independent Coca-Cola and Pepsi bottlers were legally allowed to bottle Dr. Pepper alongside their main products without breaking their contracts. And this is the primary reason why even today you can find Dr. Pepper served in almost every restaurant and grocery store, regardless of whether that establishment primarily serves Coke or Pepsi products. Number 2. Dr. Pepper was introduced to the world on a massive scale at the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis. The 1904 fair was a massive event and introduced the public to a number of iconic foods, including the ice cream cone and the hot dog. Dr. Pepper was right there in the mix, being served to millions of visitors who had never tasted anything like its 23 flavor blend. This exposure transformed Dr. Pepper from a regional Texas favorite into a nationwide phenomenon. It was here that people began to realize that soda could be more than just ginger ale or root beer. By the time the fair ended, Dr. Pepper was no longer just a favorite drink in the Waco drugstores. It had solidified its place in the national beverage landscape. Number 3. Nobody, not even the Dr. Pepper Museum in Waco, Texas, knows for sure where the name Dr. Pepper actually came from. The Dr. Pepper Museum is located in the historic 1906 bottling building in Waco, Texas, and serves as the ultimate shrine to the drink's history. Despite housing thousands of artifacts and original documents, the museum curators admit that the true origin of the name is a total mystery. There was an actual man named Dr. Charles T. Pepper who lived in Virginia around the time that the drink was invented. Legend says that Morrison named the drink in honor of Charles Pepper for giving him his first job at his pharmacy, and others say Morrison was in love with Dr. Pepper's daughter and named the drink to win his favor, but there's no hard evidence to prove that any connection like that ever actually existed. In my opinion, the most plausible theory is that the name was created to sound professional and trustworthy to consumers. In the 19th century, it was extremely common for tonic makers to add doctor to their product names to suggest medicinal qualities and health benefits. By calling it Dr. Pepper, the creators were signaling to the public that this wasn't just a sugary treat, but a sophisticated beverage backed by scientific or medical authority. This branding strategy helped many early sodas gain a foothold in an era when people were obsessed with miracle cures. The name could also be a play off the word pepsin, a digestive enzyme that was a common ingredient in health tonics at the time. That's actually where the beverage Pepsi got its name, and it seems reasonable to think that pep referenced this enzyme or simply meant pep in the sense of vigor, energy, and vitality. And adding that ER to the end does a couple of things, making it sound a little bit more active and energetic, but it would also be a clever marketing tool that combined the idea of pepper spiciness with the pep of a digestive aid. While we may never know the definitive truth, these competing stories only add to the fascinating lore of America's oldest major soft drink. Number 4. During the 1920s and 30s, Dr. Pepper was marketed as an energy drink to be consumed at specific times of day. The company launched a famous advertising campaign featuring the slogan 10, 2, and 4, encouraging people to drink a bite to eat at those hours. Research at the time had suggested that the average person experiences a significant drop in energy at 10:30, 2:30, and 4:30. By drinking a sugary, caffeinated Dr. Pepper at these times, the company suggested you could maintain your vim, vigor, and vitality throughout the workday. It was essentially the precursor to the modern energy drink. This marketing was so successful that the numbers 10, 2, and 4 often appeared on the faces of clocks in Dr. Pepper advertisements and even on the bottles themselves. It created a ritualistic habit for many consumers, making the drink feel like a necessary part of a productive day. Today, vintage Dr. Pepper clocks with those specific numbers are highly sought after collectibles. And our fifth and final fun fact for today: during the 1960s, Dr. Pepper was actually marketed as a hot winter beverage to be served with a slice of lemon. The sales of cold sodas typically plummeted in the winter. I mean, who wants a cold drink on a cold day? In order to keep their sales high through the winter, the company launched a campaign for hot Dr. Pepper. They instructed fans to heat the soda in a saucepan until it was steaming, then pour it into a mug over a slice of lemon. The heat reportedly brought out the spicy, aromatic notes of the 23 flavors, turning the fizzy drink into something resembling a mulled cider or a festive punch. While the idea of hot soda might sound kind of bizarre today, it was actually quite popular in the American South for several decades. It was even featured in national television commercials and print ads that showed families cozying up with mugs of steaming hot soda by the fireplace. The trend eventually faded as indoor heating became more efficient and cold sodas became a year-round staple. But some pepper purists still swear by a hot mug of the stuff when they have a sore throat or a winter chill. Now for some news you can use. Dr. Pepper is delicious alongside all sorts of different meals, but did you know it can also be a secret ingredient in the cooking itself? Many pitmasters and home cooks use Dr. Pepper as a marinade or base for barbecue sauce. Because of its complex blend of spices and high sugar content, it acts as a natural tenderizer for meats like pulled pork or beef brisket. As the soda reduces over heat, it creates a thick, flavorful glaze that adds a sweet and slightly spicy depth that you just can't get from plain sugar or honey. The carbonation and acidity in the soda also help break down the muscle fibers in the meat, making it incredibly tender. Meanwhile, those 23 flavors provide a built-in spice profile that complements smoky flavors perfectly. So the next time you're grilling, try simmering a can of Dr. Pepper with some ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, and a little bit of garlic. Or one of my personal favorites, try pouring a can of Dr. Pepper into a slow cooker as you're making a beef roast. Finally, the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the episode, I asked, is it true that Dr. Pepper contains a prune juice? Well, this one's a fallacy. While the company is famously secretive about its recipe, it has officially debunked this myth several times over the years. The pruny flavor people think they detect is actually a result of the specific combinations of 23 fruit, spice, and herbal extracts used in the formula. It's likely a mix of plum, cherry, and perhaps amaretto flavors that trick your brain into thinking of prunes. The myth likely started because the drink was originally sold in drugstores and it was associated with digestive health, just like prunes are. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about Dr. Pepper with me today. Be sure to tune in every weekday for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.